जा रहा है आज 18 मंडे अच्छा ऐसे देख
Evening, everyone. We will wait for another 5 minutes.
Hello, Aparna ma'am. Can you hear me?
Hi, Harshal. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Hi, Harshal.
Hello, sir.
Hi. Are we live on YouTube, Aparna?
We'll wait for another 3 minutes. At 4:35, we will start. I think we should start now because we have a time restriction. So, good evening, everyone. On behalf of Guru Mantra, myself, Aparna Darodi, I welcome you all to this webinar. So, first, let's understand what Guru Mantra is. Guru Mantra is a mentoring platform that caters to design aspirants who are seeking to pursue either bachelor's in design or master's in design programs. We are here today to provide valuable insights into design career path by sharing journey of our esteemed panel members who were once in the same position as many of you are here today now. So we have a diverse audience today. We understand that we have participants from engineering, architecture, or arts background. I know you might be curious about knowing what design is all about, and you might be interested even in pursuing masters in design. So this webinar has been specially organized only for you, with the aim of shedding a light on various aspects of careers in design. Our panel members will share their experiences and provide you with valuable insights. So please allow me to introduce our esteemed panel members. So first, we welcome Mr. M.Des. He's the founder director of Guru Mantra. He completed his undergraduation in mechanical engineering and pursued his post-graduation in product design from IIT Bombay. With over 25 plus years of experience in both industry and academia, Mr. M.Des brings a wealth of knowledge on the table today. So next we have Harshal Patil, who graduated as a mechanical engineer and now pursued his master's from NID with the new media design as his specialization. Then we have Shreya Bhore. She completed her graduation in architecture and pursued master's from NID from design for retail experience as a specialization. So together, this panel member will be providing us with a comprehensive understanding of the journey and the opportunities that come along by pursuing masters in design. So to make this webinar smooth, let's follow some basic ethics. I request all of you to keep yourself on a mute mode. I know you might be having a lot of questions to ask to panel members, but don't worry, we have kept last 15 minutes open for your questions. So that time you can put your questions in the chat box. So once again, I extend my warm regards to the panel member and I welcome them. And let's embark on this insightful journey into world of masters in design. So Kiran sir, I request you to take this discussion ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So first of all, again, warm welcome on behalf of Guru Mantra. Thank you, Aparna. And I'm sure this would be a really interesting discussion, and the people who have joined will surely gain a lot of insights from this discussion. I see registrations from various engineering colleges, architecture colleges, even from various colleges outside Pune, some registrations from Walchand College of Engineering, Sangli, Nashik, Thane, and so on and so forth. Also architecture colleges across Pune, Aurangabad, and some other places. With this, I'm sure most of you would be curious to know about design and especially journey of Harshal and Shreya. Okay, so let's understand more from them. This is going to be a very interactive session, and I know language is not the barrier. So make sure that if you have got any questions, put it in chat window, and we try to communicate in English, but Hindi, Marathi also perfectly okay. So the point is we should reach out to you in your own context. Okay. So as Aparna ma'am explained, that Shreya has done her architecture, and now she is doing retail experience design, and Harshal is a very strong mechanical engineer, who loved engineering. And now from that engineering, hardcore engineering, he has moved to new media in NID Ahmedabad. Let's understand more about their journey, the challenges they faced, have they taken right decision? They had a job, but still they pursued design. So we unveil all these facets of their journey, and surely I will also try to add my experience while asking the questions. Okay, great. So let's begin. The first question, what I would like to ask to Shreya and Harshal both, you can pick, one of you can pick that question, is when actually made your mind कि अभी इंजीनियरिंग बस हो गया डिजाइन में जाते हैं और आर्किटेक्चर का नेक्स्ट लेवल इज डिजाइन आई विल नाउ नॉट डू मास्टर ऑफ आर्किटेक्चर बट आई विल स्टार्ट डूइंग एमडेस सो कब हो गया मतलब वाज इट इन थर्ड ईयर ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग सेकंड ईयर ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग और 12वीं से ही आपको सोच रहा था कि ये करना है सो जस्ट ओपन अप योर माइंड कि कब डिसाइड किया डिजाइन करना है इंजीनियरिंग छोड़ देना है का मतलब ऐसा नहीं है यू आर we are not going away from engineering, but not doing MTech, not doing MBA, not doing Master of Science in US, but doing M.Des. So over to you, Harsha.
Yeah. So hello everyone. I'd like to tell you that I had no clue of what design is before preparing, like before 2020, as of 2020. So I was doing job in Mahindra and Mahindra as a R&D engineer, and there were multiple stages of product design cycle there. So the first stage of that design product cycle was ideation phase, and I used to enjoy that phase the most. So I decided to give a chance to explore my creative side at that time. And second thing, one of my senior friend was also part of our team, used to come to my place on weekends, and he used to draw in our balcony, and he was the first one who introduced me to the design. And then there I thought I could also like give an attempt to this. Then I went to Kiran sir. So Kiran sir knew me even before my preparation began. So he knew me from my engineering days, and I went to him with a couple of questions. He almost cleared all of my doubts. And then there was one more reason, that in design you don't have any exam, so you will be evaluated basis on your whatever you build there. So that was a like plus for me, that as I wanted to do a startup, so I will build something in that design college which I can build a startup on. So that's how I started like preparing my design journey.
Okay, great. Means almost after completing
Yeah.
12वी झाल्या सॉरी इंजिनिअरिंग झाल्यानंतर तू ठरवलंस इंजिनिअरिंग के बाद डिसाइड किया की करना है मुझे और इन
Yes,
द
sir.
फाइनल ईयर ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग ओके वंडरफुल श्रेया हाउ अबाउट यू व्हेन डिड यू डिसाइड
Introduction to design for me happened during my junior college through seminars and webinars like these. And I started my journey with Guru Mantra itself during my junior college. So based on my interests then, I narrowed down on architecture. But a career in design was always on my mind because I had prepared for it also. So it always interested me. So it was always on my mind for the 5 years that I was doing architecture. So when I was in the last year of architecture, I decided to go for it and give it a try. And also, to be honest, while architecture laid the foundation for me to solve a problem holistically, it did lack a bit of emphasis on the human behavior and the human involvement. And that actually always interested me. So I wanted to bridge this gap between my previously acquired skills and learn a new innovative approach to basically solving problems. So I thought design would be a very good option to bridge that gap. So yes, that's why I attempted design.
So here is very interesting, and I would like to tell to the audience that Shreya was All India rank 2 in NID, and I think All India rank 3 or in something like that, in both the specialization, which is very good. We are really proud of you. And I remember journey of Shreya and Harshal, Shreya had an opportunity to go to US. She had got some offers from outside country as well. And also it was very easy for her to get a job. Typically in engineering mind, we final year students or architecture students, they are very much worried or concerned about job milega ki nahi milega. Fortunately, you guys had a job in hand, but still you decided job nahi karna hai. Harshal had a job, I think around 8 lakh, 8.5 lakh rupees of job. He quit that job, well-paying job, and he took a step in preparing for design. And that time, you had two options: pursuing the job or maybe pursuing the post graduation. So how did you convince your parents and to yourself कि नहीं मुझे job छोड़ के ये करना है for next 2 years I'm not going to earn a single rupee and I'm quitting the existing job which was paying me what 60-70,000 rupees a month. So how did you make that choice कि नहीं job नहीं करना मैं फिर design करना? हाँ कैसे किया हर्षल? How did you think of that?
So I'll tell you a little background to the story. So I got my engineering job during our campus placement, and I wasn't aiming for that. I fortunately got that job as that entrance test was compulsory for all of us. So I had some other plans in my mind, but my family pressure, not pressure, but they convinced me, sort of convinced me to pursue that job. And then I told them during that job only that I'll do this for 1-2 years and later I'll figure something else. And after that, so it was very peak period of COVID. That time I decided to resign and I was convinced that I have to pursue something in design. So everyone, like all my family members, came to visit me and they tried to sort of convince me like not to resign basically. But I was convinced that I want to pursue something else. Mm, why I decided to pursue something else? So I was enjoying my job, but there was very small period of that whole design process which I was enjoying the most. So also other apart from the ideation phase, everything else was quite repetitive and monotonous. And as I said earlier, I wanted to build something of my own. So there were 2-3 options for me, either pursuing MBA, MTech, or M.Des. So MTech was too cliched for me at that time. Like I thought the efforts to like return on efforts was not that good enough for M.Des, for MTech. And for MBA, as I was consuming a lot of startup literature at that time, I was convinced that people who don't know what to do with their life are the ones who pursue MBA. Like it's not the case for all of them, but I was pretty convinced at that time. Like if I want to start my own business, then MBA is not the thing for me. It's like it is good for well-established companies, but if you have to start your something of your own, then I guess MBA is not the thing. And then design gave me freedom. Like I have heard from my seniors and from the internet that there were no exams. You will be evaluated on the basis of what you build there. So that's how I decided to this.
That's a great answer, Harshal, I know that design, engineering, and business go hand in hand, right? So
Yeah.
to have a very successful startup, you just can't come up with brilliant ideas. It has to have support from technology. It has to have support from strategy and business as well.
Yeah.
But since you started enjoying that ideation phase, I think that was a trigger for you to come into design. By the way, the guys who are on the call, make sure that design is not only the ideation. Okay, design has the entire process of understanding the users, empathizing with them, making sure that we capture the right information, capture the right requirements, you freeze the uh, problem space, you define the requirements in a very crisp manner, do the ideation, validate. So it's an entire process, and that's very much essential for a startup as well. Let's move to Shreya. So what are your views, Shreya, as an architect? What do you think? Why did you go for masters and did not go for outside world, or why did you go to NID? and say no to some of the foreign institute, or even decided not to go for a job?
So basically, after my architecture, I had an option to continue with my internship firm, which was in Pune itself. But somewhere in the mind, I had that I need some more expertise before continuing. I had the urge to learn more. And so that was always pricking me. So I really wanted to go ahead with and gain some expertise. Also, I was well aware of the fact that NID does prefer a diverse group, and they do select a diverse group where they have a good combination of freshers and people with work experience for a better peer learning, obviously. So I thought, let's try and be a part of the freshers group in this master's program. And trust me, honestly, it's fun. You really have very impractical but great ideas as compared to people who come with a certain work experience. And talking about not going abroad, so definitely going abroad gives you a different level of exposure. But for me, I had decided that I want to work in the Indian context and stay in India later. So for that, it was important that I study here, because at NID, like since day one, we are preparing to be a part of the Indian market. And every project is very, very relevant to the Indian context. So and obviously for exposure, we always have student exchange programs once we are here. So a 6-month program is always a good add-on to your experience and expertise. So I think for me, the personal clarity that I had to work here and I have to work here helped me make this decision and select NID as the final choice.
Very nice, very nicely articulated. So just to recap what we discussed for last 10 minutes, So Shreya, being an architect, though she had various options, she had got a very clear mindset that she wants to do something in design, which is a creative field and research field, and she also wanted to contribute into the Indian context. So maybe she can travel outside India, say she can go to US or Europe or Singapore or Australia for exposure purpose. But NID and IITs are the institutes where they focus a lot on Indian context. All the problems, all the projects are relevant and contextual to the Indian world. And Harshal, though he was doing a job, highly paying job, and he was enjoying that ideation process in Mahindra and Mahindra, but that ideation part was very less as compared to the entire cycle. And guys, I'm sure those who are doing engineering, even their final project, ideation is fairly a small part, because engineering focus is how to make it manufacturable, how to make sure that technology is, your focus is more on technology. The design, what we are talking over here for last 15 minutes, is about user-centric design. It's not about designing the dies, designing the car, means manufacturing the car, or designing the mobile application, or designing a structural design. We are not talking about that. We are focusing on creative design, user-centric design, right? Okay, so I just recap the thing, so we all are on the same page. Okay, now while we discuss, Harshal said that he is doing something in new media design, and Shreya is doing something in retail experience design. So guys, I'm just thinking from the audience perspective. Okay, I know product design. For example, this is a cup to which I am having coffee, and it has got a handle. It can accommodate tea or hot water or coffee. I can drink comfortably. I can keep it. So designing this thing, I can understand. This is called as product design. Communication or graphic design, I can understand. I can design poster. I can design some communication medium. I can design a storyboard, something like that. Even I can understand car design. Okay, it's fairly simple. A car design is complex, but I can understand what is car design. I can understand some bit of user experience design, because some of the students, engineering students, would be knowing that, or they would from IT background, instead of doing a back-end code, a front end can be designed. I'm just talking from high level. ये new media क्या है? And this is what is retail experience design. So we are more interested in this new and emerging fields of design. For example, engineering में क्या नया आ रहा है अभी? AI ML आ रहा है, robotics आ रहा है, data science आ रहा है, data analytics आ रहा है, so on and so forth. In design, these two fields that you guys are talking are really future ready design. They are you guys had option. कि product design को भी जा सकते थे आप, or you could have gone for communication design or animation design, but still you decided to go for new media and you were handpicked across India. NID में जाना इतना आसान नहीं है. We are really proud of you. You were handpicked from thousands of students and you are two or three of them. So how did you make the choice of going to new media design and retail experience? और हमको बताओ कि क्या है? In very simple words, tell us what is new media design, and Shriya explain us what is retail experience. एकदम simple words में everyone should understand on this call. Yeah.
So if you ask me to summarize what new media is in one line, I'll tell you it's a design of technology. So the course is situated in science and engineering, and here we try to design something by the amalgamation of arts, design, and culture. So I'll give example. So it's very superficial, very surface level example, but there were keypad phones. There used to be keypad phones, and the shift from keypad to touchscreen was something of a new media thingy. The way we interact with our machine. So the voice command can be considered as new media at that time when it was not invented before. So in new media, we sort of tinker around technology to design the way of interactions or the experience, or we sort of speculate what the future technology is going to be. But this course is designed in Indian context, so we have to consider the cultural aspect of that also. So design of technology in India,
Right.
for India.
So honestly speaking, you use very heavy words, though you tried to simplify. Culture, technology, design thinking, and context of India. Can you explain any of your projects? जो NID में आपने किया है project? Can you just explain this?
Okay, so during the third semester of my design, we were asked to design an experience for anything. So the brief was very open. You could select anything and you can work with anything. So there are no limitations in new media and I guess universal design. So these interdisciplinary courses does not restrict you to one particular branch. So you're free to explore anything. So at that time, I decided to do something around female feticide. So, so my project was unborn child. An unborn child writes a letter to society, which was projected on a mist. So that mist column was placed on the way in the corridor of our college, and anyone can pass through that mist college, so that those letters appear as if they were traveling in air. And why I did that? Because the nature of that mist is very temporal, and if we see the life of those unborn childs is also something similar to that they are killed even before they are born. So this mist fades away in couple of seconds. So I tried to correlate that thing with the mist, and
Yeah.
so this was then this mist can be used as an advertising medium. So people were very fascinated to see, and they're playing with that mist. They were wondering how those letters could flow through that mist. So,
For example, can I ask you something? Since you are working in this domain for a long time, and we are new to this, if
yes.
Currently, you said that earlier there were keypad phones. Pehले the keypad phones. Okay, then we moved to touch. Now, if I want to design a new phone, right? which will be gesture based or smell based, or based on my expressions, it will start taking inputs. So, or if I'm a dancer, okay, if I want to communicate through dance as a medium, can this be considered? It's a Indian culture, dance form, art, and technology can be embedded. Can that be considered as a project in new media?
Yeah, but we'll have to define the output for that
Right, right.
first.
Anyway, this is very abstract, So maybe for the audience, we can have a separate conversation about what new media, because this is a really futuristic thing, wherein your artistic abilities, your creative abilities, your technology inclination, your design, music, culture, all of that is augmented. So कुठलंच field नाही आहे otherwise, where such kind of a thing. Either you become engineer, go to Infosys of the world, do coding, do testing, and your job is done for entire life. Or you become an architect, create the new design, get the plans approved from PMRD or something. This is something very innovative, Harshal, what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll add one
Yeah.
more example. So
Sure.
one of our seniors from Pune, she made a project where so the mandir, the kakad aarti, what they call in our homes. So what she did, she made a big, very large hologram. So what used to happen at the end of every aarti, that deity used to come out of that hologram from out of nowhere. So this can be considered as a new media project.
Right. So creating the entirely new experiences, tinkering with the technology and culture. Awesome. Very good. Shriya, how about the retail experience design? How is it different than interior design, space design? Many of the architects are there, कि interior design and retail experience design में क्या फर्क है?
Right. So to start with, actually, this course was started in response to the booming retail industry in India. So this course is relatively new, which was started in 2007. And it was also the first course that was started in NID Bangalore, because NID Bangalore is the research and development campus here. So to explain retail, I think we studied various formats, like brick and mortar stores to e-commerce. And I think to explain retail, maybe I just can explain you my project. So our recent project was branding Sikkim chilies. So there are chilies which are very native to Sikkim. So the entire process involved studying Sikkim also. So it wasn't just a branding project, but you also need to understand Sikkim, their demographics, their geography, their people, and what do you really want to convey to the people around the world about Sikkim. How can you show Sikkim in their truest form? So how can you show their simplicity? How can you show their poised nature? So it is all about that. And then you obviously have to understand the technical aspects of it. How is the chili grown? How is it dried? And then how can you transport it? How can you package it? And we as responsible designers have to look for solutions that are sustainable, that emit less carbon footprint. So taking materials that are available there, providing job employments for them. So basically I had a packaging which was done in bamboo. So then understanding how the packaging is done. So I weave the bamboo packaging myself with certain weavers. So how can you set up a small assembly line? So basically to summarize, it's more about understanding what goes beyond and after the packaging. How can you even market it? So we also made certain collaterals on how would be the presence of the brand. So if we talk about it, it's after you get the product, you decide how the look and the feel of the product be, and how can you market it to people, and what do you want to show. And talking about interior and space design as against retail, so so definitely store layout and space design is a part of retail, but I think there's much more to it, because you obviously have to look for the consumer psychology in that. So if you go to a supermarket, you have certain products kept at a certain eye level. Why do you keep the products there? Which size of the product is there? Which size of the product goes on the bottom shelf, on the top shelf? So it's all upon psychology and which products do you want to sell faster. So you have to really be in touch with the business team and also understand business when you are doing retail so that you can sell better. I mean, that's how you can summarize it and give a better
Right,
experience
right.
to your consumers.
Right. Very nicely articulated. And so now, what I'm thinking now, just for the betterment, for better understanding of the audience, design, whether it's product design, communication design, lifestyle and accessory design, and the audience who all are there on the call, you can always do some chat GPTing or Googling. Okay, nowadays there is a term called chat GPTing. So you can chat GPTize or find on Google what are the specializations available. But in engineering or in architecture relatively, you can correlate with design. But engineering is a very siloed. If you take admission in mechanical engineering, you hardly know anything about computer science. If you take admission in computer science, you hardly know anything about civil engineering. So these are very compartmentalized. In design, what Harshal spoke about, he spoke about, though he did his engineering, okay, mechanical engineering. Now the path he is doing is he's connecting engineering, psychology, technology, creative thinking, design, even what Shreya spoke about, consumer understanding, getting insights, behavioral studies, psychology. You might think these words to be heavy words, but guys, this is what the future is all about. Okay. So thank you so much. And as I said, if you want, we can put some basic information about what are the specializations and all such kind of information will be put on the WhatsApp group for the registered users. Now, a question is, you both did engineering and architecture. What are the qualities you think are required to become a designer? Harshal, were you good in sketching, coloring, both ऐसा किया था क्या elementary, intermediate, color, watercolor, poster color, human figures, कुछ आता था आपको पहले?
As I said, I started my sketching after joining Guru Mantra only. So before that, I had no experience and I had no interest in sketching. Or I used to afraid of those colors, and I used to stay away from all those things. So I thought I'm a kind of technical person, so it's not the field for me. But I don't know why did I get into NID. But if you ask me what really helped me, so it was the ability to think out of the box and how far you can stretch your imagination, and the ability to convey your ideas or same imagination to the convey. So I was very bad at sketching, to be frank, and so Kiran sir only suggested me that I used to get a lot of good ideas, so he asked me to list down all those ideas, and I did the same during my NID question paper, answer paper. So I wrote down all my ideas even outside the box that was dedicated for the answer, and I think that helped me. Apart from that, I don't know, it happened during the preparation, but think skills like observations and empathy, they also helped me. But I think you could explain those skills better than me. So yeah.
Right. So that's right. And you rightly articulated, Harshal.
Yeah.
People have got a myth in their mind की डिझाईनला जायचं म्हणजे स्केचिंग छान पाहिजे, कलरिंग चांगलं पाहिजे, कलर का अंडरस्टैंडिंग अच्छा होना चाहिए, you should be good in ऐसा देख के एकदम अच्छा पिक्चर. And engineering, people think, no, we can only draw using AutoCAD or Creo or CATIA or some kind of thing. Architects are slightly better because they are exposed to this. But engineering people have got some phobia in their mind. If design jana hai, so this is not my cup of tea. But guys, it's not like that. If you ask wonderful questions, if you can represent your thoughts, even a sticky diagram, stick side, माणसाचं चित्र काढायला anatomy समजायची गरज नाही. You can just create a stick figure. That's also good enough for that. But it's more about ideation. So creative thinking is very, very important. And what Harshal, being a humble guy, he came up with so many questions in his mind. He had created a thick book of questions. And these questions are day-to-day questions. Okay. For example, why there is a signal having red, orange, and green? Why not there is something called as blue? And that blue tells that in the next signal there is a traffic. So I can take a right turn or left turn. So there are so many questions you can ask. You know, why the shirt has got buttons only on the front side, or there are n number of, so ask questions. That's one of the great qualities to become a designer. So creative thinking, critical thinking, not only creative, you need to analyze certain situations, you need to question certain situations, we need to comprehend certain questions. So one is creative thinking, another is critical thinking, third is collaboration. Designers need to work in a very collaborative fashion. Once you join a company and there is a question about how much salary one would get once you get into IT or any of the companies, it depends, because it depends on how collaborative nature you have got. It's never a one-person job in any company. Designer plays a very collaborative job. And the last C, I'm talking about 4 C's, you can remember. One is creative thinking, second is critical thinking, third is collaboration, and fourth is communication. कम्युनिकेशनचा अर्थ छान इंग्लिश बोलणं असं नाही आहे. ओके, सो डोंट हैव दैट काइंड ऑफ अ थॉट इन योर माइंड कि कम्युनिकेशन का मतलब आई शुड बी स्पीकिंग वंडरफुल इंग्लिश एंड आई शुड कन्विंस द गाय, ऐसा कुछ नहीं. इवन थ्रू स्केचिंग, थ्रू स्टोरी बोर्डिंग, through some simple words, you can communicate. So to become a designer, these 4 C's are important. But let's hear from Shreya also, what she thinks. Why did NID select Shreya? What was the secret spice that Shreya had, So just tell us, Shreya, about that.
Yeah. Actually, I think you've covered most of the points, but one thing that I would especially like to mention is that we all develop certain skills and abilities during our bachelor's, and we need to highlight that throughout the process. It is about presenting your identity, and because in this competitive world, we really need to create a identity which shows that this is your design, which is very specific to you. So I think that is one important thing that we all can work on, like who are budding designers and who are already in the field, in creating an identity and highlighting our skills. So I think throughout the process, what I did was show them that how I am ready to learn and perform irrespective of the situation that they put me in. Trying to show how diverse I am and how I can have a third perspective while looking at a particular object. I think I tried to showcase them and tell them how architecture has helped me and and what can I bring to the table if I come to NID. How I can bring the skills that I have previously acquired and combine them with the skills that you are going to give me, and how I can be an individual who is going to try to change the world for the better, and how can I be a responsible designer is what I try to show throughout the process.
All right. So this is very important point, I forgot that actually, So don't think that you are leaving your field. Yeah, okay. And one of the questions somebody has asked about UI UX. We'll comprehend, I have been practicing UX for last 25 years. I'll answer that question. Just have patience. But the point is how best you can leverage your engineering and architecture. ऐसा नहीं है कि अरे अभी तो इंजीनियर छोड़ देना चाहिए यार, बोर हो गया मुझे इंजीनियरिंग, वो कंप्यूटर में करना नहीं है, आई डोंट लाइक दिस कोडिंग बिजनेस. नो, how best you can leverage that engineering background or architecture background, your abilities to analyze certain problem. Engineering tells us a lot. Let me share my experience. Okay, when I did my masters from IIT Bombay, I was studying in Walchand College of Engineering, Sangli. Okay, and being in Sangli, not aware of many things what is happening in Pune and Mumbai. So I had very less exposure about what is design. And I'm telling story about 25 years back. And when I went for an interview to IIT Bombay, and they asked me about, what project you did in engineering, how you completed your final project. So, and I answered that because I was clueless about design. I was just knowing that it needs creativity. But even in my engineering project, I had applied a lot of creativity. So engineers and architects and applied arts people are the right people to enter into the creative in the creative field. And what Shreya spoke about is individual qualities. You all are unique. You all are capable of doing something interesting. So make sure that even your final year project, if you do better, you can surely enter into design school. Let that be some some IT project. Okay, kuch to we want to come up with a new utility in .NET, or in using some database or some maintenance application or some mobile application using either PhoneGap or any of the new technologies like React and whatever. So whatever you do can be the baseline to enter into design school. So just we are building on our engineering and architecture world. There are so many freshers, okay, on this group, and when we ask them to register, most of them are either in final year of engineering or final year of architecture. So here is a question, now मेरा तो design होके 25 years हो गया. I crossed that bridge. You also crossed that bridge. So my question to you is, if I want to enter into the design field, okay, so how can I prepare? How can I prepare? And you said, okay, uniqueness चाहिए, ये चाहिए, वो चाहिए, creative ability चाहिए, collaboration चाहिए. How can I acquire those skills? ऐसा क्या है? How can you tell me some resources? Can you tell me some books? Can you tell me, मी कसा अभ्यास करू? मला जायचं आहे डिझाईन मध्ये, मला नक्की करायचं आहे, मला UX मध्ये करायचं आहे, मला ट्रान्सपोर्टेशन मध्ये करायचं आहे. I want to do retail experience. I want to do product design. I'm passionate about cars. I want to do toy design and gaming, digital gaming, animation करना है. ये सब करना है और मालूम है. Now you told us, but how to prepare that? How did you acquire those skills? And I'm not asking questions about Guru Mantra, okay? I'm not talking about Guru Mantra and आपको आपने क्या सिखाया, but how did you acquire those skills?
So to begin with, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
So I guess getting a peer group where you can share your thoughts and ideas, and where you guys can together solve some question and discuss those answers within that group, because this helps you to get diverse perspective for the same problem. Like when 4 different minds are solving one particular problem, then we get a diverse view for the same question. And second thing, I started my journey by referring few websites. So one of them was stuffyoulook.com. So this website gave me a broader understanding of what the syllabus of the NID and the previous year question papers, and it was a good resource for preparation at that time. Third thing, I solved as many question paper as possible during that time, and I took feedback from you or my peers or whoever I feel comfortable with. So those feedbacks really helped me to improve, like for the continuous improvement, they really helped me. And yeah, I don't know exactly what really
Yeah,
helped me, but
that's fine. That's
I'm
fine.
just connecting the dots looking backwards.
Right. Okay. Yeah, we'll share the website as well, okay? And we'll share one list of the books. We can flash that slide, okay? There in some basic books you can refer to, and the PDFs are available with us, which we can share the PDFs as well. Okay, Shreya, how about you? How did you prepare?
So actually, there are some things that need to be a part of your routine, while some things are that you need to make a conscious decision and consciously work on that. So for me, I exactly knew what has to be my, like, where do I need to develop. So basically, it was more on my communication that I had to develop. I had to be a little outgoing and little in order to say interact with everyone. So that is something that I consciously worked on throughout my preparation here. And as a part of routine, reading about multiple or like reading articles on various things or being aware about the current affairs, and that has greatly helped me now, because as I told you that we had to like actually understand the business and the system. So it's very important that you read about what's currently going on. And then since I had a little inclination towards consumer psychology, I used to read on that like often, and that what helped me in the interview to tell them that I know about this and I can do this. So I think, yes, that was pretty good and enough for me.
Right. So, having curious, and what I liked about what Shreya said, basically keep your mind open and start reading many things. This year in IIT course, IIT entrance exam, the question was, what do you think about AI? AI as a collaborator, AI as an assistant. Okay. So just explore the technology, explore, and I'll just share a small story on this. I conducted one seminar for 8th and 9th grade students in one school in Pune. I asked the question to these guys, 9th and 10th grade students. Now with Avichimulam, I asked them, how many of you have used ChatGPT, not heard, used? Almost 100% students said that we use ChatGPT. I was amazed. Then I asked, how many of you used Midjourney? And almost 40% students said that we can create the picture using Midjourney. We know how to give the prompts. And then I asked, how many of you know DALL-E? And almost 20% students said, we know DALL-E. Okay. So guys, 7 years smaller than you, these kids are much aware of technology, much aware of the design as a career. Okay. It's an alarming thing for all of us. If we really want to do something world class, ये बच्चों से तो ज्यादा पता होना चाहिए. Then the school teachers came to me and asked, sir, आपने जो जो बोला ना, मुझे लिख के दे दो. वो मिड जर्नी क्या है मालूम नहीं, ओपन एआई क्या है मालूम नहीं, चैट जीपीटी मालूम नहीं, चैट जीपीटी से जॉब जाएगा क्या मालूम नहीं. So point is, keep your eyes open, ears open, have communication skills. It's not that sketching ka practice karo. That's not the right way of preparing for any design school entrance exams. Okay. On the contrary, read more, listen. How many of you listen various podcasts on Spotify? Ye preparation hai. Learn from that. Okay. That's what I as a practicing designers can suggest you. Okay. So see all these design schools. If you want to enter into IITs, NIDs, MIT, Srishti, there are so many design schools. That information would be available with Aparna ma'am. You can reach out to her and she can give all the information. But the process is like this. Abhi gate ka kya hai? No, in gate, you give the gate exam, you get the score and you are in. MBA ka kya hai? You either go for CAT and then it's a personal interview and or group discussion, you get in. In design, it's a 3-step process. Okay. There is something called as design prelim exam or mains and pre. समझो कि stage 1 is written exam. Written matlab you don't need to write, but you need to express your ideas like Harshal was talking about. It's not that actually evaluation answer in 1 word, answer in 2 lines. ऐसा लिखने का नहीं है. It's more of a representation exam. The first is written exam. उसके बाद second is portfolio and studio test. Now Shreya just tell us more about what is portfolio and what is studio test. And if I want to apply for IIT or NID, I can appear for entrance exam, I can clear that entrance exam, but what is it that portfolio में क्या होता है और studio interview में क्या पूछते हैं? What do they ask in interview? That's what we want to know.
Right. So basically, portfolio is something that you want to show about yourself. So it definitely speaks a lot about you, the way you present or the projects that you include in your portfolio. So for me, I had included around 3 to 4 projects which were from architecture, and a few projects that I had done under the mentorship of Guru Mantra. So basically, my architecture projects, I had tweaked them a bit to be suitable for design. So basically, I had a sensory garden project, which so I highlighted the experience part of the garden rather than including the plants and sections and views. So I tried to explain how I am including experience in the garden in order to like encourage the people who have certain sensory disabilities to come there and enjoy. So that was a part of my portfolio. So basically, if we talk about portfolio, it should include what you want to talk about, and your portfolio is discussed in the personal interview. So that is the point. And studio test for us, it was pretty much similar to what were the questions in the prelims. So, but they are obviously much more retail specific, and like they actually have a few parts of the courses, like the branding, and then how can you design a poster. So it's much more into detail and specific. And if you talk about the personal interview, they can honestly scan through you. Even though our process was online, I could see that they could like actually sense what I was feeling at that point, and they were asking questions accordingly. So that's a very tricky process to be in. So, and actually you need to answer everything very honestly. So for example, I had applied for retail experience and strategic design management. So my retail experience interview was pretty technical since I had an architecture background. So they asked me about which level is the eye level and where can you keep this. But my design management interview is specifically very interesting, because when you talk about strategic design management, you feel that there'll be people who come from work experience, and then they talk about managing companies, managing teams in big companies. So for me, when they asked me, where have you managed teams before? So my answer was very simple and honest about how I managed group works in my architecture college, about how I took the lead and how I got people on the same page, or how did I interact with them. And so they asked me questions based on that. So it was a very honest answer, but I think they really, really appreciated that. So I think interview is all about honesty, and because they will ask you follow-up questions. So it should be really, really honest is what I can say.
Yeah, great. I remember my engineering days, when I applied for IDC, that's IIT Bombay, I had my engineering project, which was typically done in Walchand College with gold embossed, typed stuff, no sketching, no coloring, the first angle, third angle, falana, dhamkana, hatching lines, and then I went for that. So, and I knew that only, which is perfectly okay. There was a panel of around 6 people, all IIT professors with white beard and gray hair, and they scanned me through the entire thing. And they realized कि इसके पास sketching नहीं है, coloring नहीं, because he hasn't done something like that. But they asked me something, why we should, they actually, they asked me, how can you solve this problem? Tell me now. For example, here is a kettle. There was a kettle kept. How would you redesign this kettle? So something of that sort. So portfolio ka zyada tension mat le lo. Whatever you are actually doing, even in your architecture, even in engineering, your applied arts, or some of you, I see some of you are done B.Des as well. So जो आपने 3-4 साल में किया है, that itself can be your portfolio. In addition to, you need to do some projects which Riya and Harshal had done in Guru Mantra. So these are specialization specific thing. For example, if somebody is applying for user experience and you have done some coding which is backend, so you need to do something in the world of user experience. And one of the projects could be very simple. You can do the evaluation of say Book My Show. Now, when you do the evaluation of Book My Show, don't look at it from coding perspective. Don't look at it कि कौन से language में किया होगा, what is the performance, how the testing would have been done, automated testing, manual testing, कुछ जरूरत नहीं. Just think that your aji or your grandmother is ordering for she wants to go for a movie with her friend, or your azoba is staying alone. He wants to book a cab on Uber. What challenges he will face? How will he click? What things will hamper his journey? So on and so forth. So एक journey का आपने evaluation किया and there is lot of material available on internet. Go to Nelson and Norman group, go to userresearch.com, so on and so forth. But you can simply do many things on your own. Okay. So portfolio is nothing but, if someone wants to just do the portfolio of observation, which nahi, go to Swargate, do the evaluation of, do the observation of people, how people stand, how people wait for buses, how buses come, what are the challenges, so on and so forth. Okay. So it's a very, very simple. I want to demystify the portfolio business, and it's not so difficult that it would be a big challenge for all of you. Okay. Now, since you both are from Guru Mantra, and I know that I have personally mentored you, but here is a tricky question. Do you really think there is a need of a coaching class? क्या जरूरत है कोचिंग क्लास की? Why not you independently prepare, and why did you join Guru Mantra?
There were students in our college who were selected without joining any coaching class, so to say. But it helped me because I didn't have any experience or exposure. Guru Mantra was my first exposure to design, and the most critical thing that helped me in Guru Mantra was the peer group, the peer feedback, and the personalized feedback from the mentor. Otherwise, we can cover everything on our own.
Right. Just to add to what Harshal said, I think your health is not well, na, Harshal? Not feeling
Yes.
well. Okay. So it's like coaching, for example, Sindhu wants to prepare for Olympics. Is there a syllabus for badminton? No, there is no syllabus for badminton. ऐसा नहीं कि badminton में, and some of the people would be playing badminton. I'm not a badminton player, but there is nothing called as a typical syllabus. But what coaching institute or mentoring platform like Guru Mantra would do is they can facilitate you कि क्या करना है, क्या mistakes कर रहे हो, what can be improved. If I tell you, guys, come up with a chair of 2018 का chair कैसा होगा? Now it's a chair on which I'm sitting, but 2018 में chair क्या होगा? And for that, you really need a peer group, because all of them will come up with 5 ideas multiplied by 10 students. 50 ideas would come, and then there would be a lot of discussions with mentor. कि future क्या होगा? 2080 में लोग कैसे होंगे? Culture क्या होगा? Technology क्या होगी? So on and so. So what Guru Mantra kind of an institute would help you is to provide that context, that peer learning, that ambient learning, and set of mentors who can facilitate you to enter to the design world. Now, many people would be interested in this question, and which is very, very critical question, and I will also try to add is, yes, sir, ठीक है यार, all this is great, NID है, IIT है, ये है, वो है, you are doing some creative work, conceptual work, you spoke very nice English, ये वो सब ठीक है. अभी बताओ कि मुझे जॉब क्या मिलेगा और कितने का मिलेगा, पैसा कितना मिलेगा, and where will I get a job? Now, Harshal, you quit 8.5 lakh का job. Will you repent? कि बॉस वो छोड़ दिया, अभी क्या होगा? What is it that, how much salary the students who are coming out of NID? I can share the data of IIT and also NID, but you just let me know what kind of a salaries and what kind of a job profiles. And audience, I'm very conscious about these two words, getting a job and getting career. Job is very easy to get. Everyone gets a job, but getting the career is not so easy. इंजीनियरिंग के बाद क्या करियर होगा, आर्किटेक्चर के बाद क्या करियर होगा, डिजाइन के बाद क्या करियर होगा, वेयर विल आई बी आफ्टर 10 years, वो सोचने की आज बहुत नीड है. इट्स नॉट सो इजी. सो जस्ट लेट अस नो, Harshal and Shreya, what would be career for you after design, and how much salary, what would be your progression after design?
If we generalize in NID, usually students get around 10 to 15 lakh. Like it's a starting salary for almost all of them, and like it varies from 10 to 35. Like most of the UI UX guys, they bag higher packages, and it's a course 2.5 years of course, and you will have to finish it within 5 years. So for every 6 months after your 2.5 years ka course, you can apply for internship or placement in your college itself. So I don't think job is an issue in NID. And if you ask me about career, so my intention to get into NID was quite different. I wanted a network, so I begin my journey considering I have to start something of my own. So in future also I'm planning to move into that direction only. So work in
So you want
some
to
startup.
be, you want to be entrepreneur and start
Yes,
your
sir.
own company.
Yeah, in
Wonderful.
some technology business. Yes.
Right. But generally the package, even, you guys can do, it's not my information, you can find on Google and ChatGPT. ChatGPT being, 2021 तक ही उसके पास data है. If you buy ChatGPT for $16 का ये लिया, तो आपको recent data भी मिलेगा. But the guys who are doing masters from reputed institutes are getting the package from 12 to 15 lakh. It depends. It depends on who you are. Like Harshal said, you can get a job package of 35 to 40 lakhs as well. But it depends on who you are, what is your quality of work, from what projects you have done, and how you are going to add value to that organization. Typically, user experience guys are getting more salary because it's an upstream field and all the fields are emerging or moving to the user experience side. Now, what is UX and what is UI? I am going to answer that question. But Shreya, what do you think are the salaries for retail experience guys, your seniors, and where are they doing jobs? Or Harshal, tell me where are these new media guys doing job? वो salary मिलेगा ठीक है. Tell me couple of names where these guys have gone and doing the job.
So if we consider the core new media thing, then most of our seniors were working in some new startups, technology startups. Like one of my friend is working in healthcare startup, which where they are trying to train doctors using VR headset, and all this booming industry where there is an extensive heavy use of technology. There, new media, you can find new media. And apart from that, people who took the path of UI UX, so couple of my friends were working in Microsoft, Google also, and they're also working in companies like Value Labs, which are like medium scale companies, so to say.
Got that. Yeah. And Shreya, how about these retail experience guys?
Retail also, as Harshal said, it starts from like 10 to 15. And there have been many people who have backed package of say 48 to 50 also, but that was purely based on their previous experience, work experience, plus their projects, plus competitions and all of that. So it depends on how you develop yourself throughout the years. And if you talk about companies that people are working on, so there have been people who are working for the UX in Walmart, and in Walmart, or there are fintech companies also like Intuit and ServiceNow also, like service design. There have been people who are in IFB and Hilti also as experienced designers. And there have been people who are in, say, Target as store layout designers. Since retail is an interdisciplinary course, the range is very wide. And also, say, in Nalli's as store layout and space designers. So, and as you rightly said, a job and career is very different. Like career is something that you make through conscious decisions. So for me personally, like though a user experience is bagging more salaries, I really want to go into space design and visual communication and branding. So, I mean, these are the conscious decisions that we will need to take in order to build a career of your choice and where you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years. So, I think the preparation does start from now, like for us at this point.
Thank you. Thank you. And don't look at only salary as a decision factor. And if you are not passionate, guys, don't do design. Okay, very simple. Those who are coming to design for getting better salaries as a starting job, I don't think that would be the decision. Okay, so अच्छा करो ना, engineering करो, IT में जाओ, coding करो, manufacturing करो, all that is fine jobs. Okay, but if you just want to get a better salary package, then you will get it, but you'll get much more than salary. It's a job satisfaction. Your personality will get completely transformed. If I would have started, a job, I had a job in Bharat Forge after my BE mechanical. If I would have stayed in Bharat Forge, I would have been a different person. And once I went into IIT and studied design, I'm an entirely different person. My personality has got completely transformed. I'm not saying good or bad, right or wrong, but I'm enjoying what I'm doing because it's a passion that drives me. So design is a profession of passion. So those who want to enter into design, if you're just looking at money, please, please, please don't appear. Don't appear for the taste as well. Guru mantra to chhod hi do. Guru mantra to aane ki zarurat bhi nahi hai. But you can just think of whatever career you are doing. But if you really want to explore your own personality and also get handsome money, money is surely there. Who will work for free or low salary package? No one. But that will be augmentation. Salary, money, satisfaction, impact to the society. You are creating the impact to the society as well. So think of all these dimensions. I'll ask the last question or one or two questions. One question to Shreya is, we are talking about Chat GPT, we are talking about OpenAI. People are exploring. Aparna ma'am, can you just mute someone? Yeah. So
Yes.
this Chat GPT can create the pictures, Chat GPT can create the video, Chat GPT can write the essays. What will happen to the job at large and to designers?
Right. So it is definitely a wait and watch situation. But as far as I have experience, so definitely we can use these tools to enhance our productivity. Like there are many repetitive tasks which we need to do. So definitely we can use them to enhance our productivity and use it to our benefit. So we can say that we can use human intelligence to understand artificial intelligence and use it to our benefit. But also like human qualities like emotional intelligence and critical thinking or complex problem solving is something that is still in humans' hands, I feel, for a long time now. Yeah.
Right, right. I also think on the similar lines, it will enhance the productivity, it will be aid for you to do the better work. When Google came, right? So was there a threat of a job? No, our jobs got reshaped. With ChatGPT, reshaping of the job will happen. Okay. So let's take this as an opportunity than threat. I think ChatGPT will entirely transform the business scape and job scape of all of us. It will surely aid us to do our work better. Perhaps the commodity work that we are doing, कि कुछ नया रे वो message लिखना है. Why the heck we are retyping the same thing again and again and again? By the way, I'm extensively using ChatGPT nowadays, and ChatGPT has understood my style of writing. Or it's a regeneration, right? It's a generative AI. So ChatGPT I'm training ChatGPT pre-trained. So ChatGPT knows what is Kiran's style, and maybe it will start writing me like me. Abhi ChatGPT is writing like a robot, but he knows कि I will ask always 3 point में answer दे दो. Now that started giving me only answers in 3 points. So that's something very interesting. Now ChatGPT will start behaving like Kiran. By the way, in ChatGPT you can take avatars, write a message like an expert, write a message like Elon Musk write a message like a teacher, so on and so forth. So I'm really excited for ChatGPT, OpenAI, Midjourney, and all these things coming up. We all should explore that. I think this is a wonderful time for all of us to enter into the world of design, creativity, innovation, and this is something really exciting world for all of us. Last question to Shreya and Harshal is, what do you think is one mantra that you can tell to the audience, the, to these design aspirants? Most of them want to make career in design. What is that one mantra you would like to give to these uh, aspirants? Any one of you? Yeah, Priya.
So yeah, I think as I've mentioned previously also, and being in NID for the past 1 year, I would really like everyone to create their own identity, because I find it's very, very important in today's time where there are so many people. So identify and look into yourself and try to find what qualities you have and build on that is definitely much more important, I feel, in today's time.
Wonderful. So you have identified the uniqueness. You all are unique. You all are creative. तुमच्यातला युनिकनेस शोधा आणि तो त्याच्यावरती काम करा. वंडरफुल. थँक यू श्रेया. हर्षल.
Yeah, so don't hesitate to express yourself. So even during the preparation or even during your exams, try to be as vulnerable as possible, because that really conveys your true identity to them, and that is very unique in itself. So that's the only thing I have to say.
Brilliant.
Also, to add on the previous question, there is very popular meme or joke in new media community that will your job be replaced by AI or not? So the answer goes like this: it won't be replaced. It won't be replaced by AI, but it will be replaced by a person who knows how to use AI.
Brilliant. Very good. Very apt. And thank you, Harshal, because I know your health is not better and you are even facing challenges for talking as well. Thank you for joining. But before we conclude on this, we are on time. So there are a couple of questions, and if you have got any questions, please write on that. Let's have a very open conversation. Don't hesitate to ask questions. कुठलाही प्रश्न तुम्ही विचारू शकता. The design starts by asking the questions. Let me share one anecdote. One of the students who is in NID now, I asked him, the person who is All India rank 1, what is the ability that the person has got? So is he sketching good? No, sir, not at all. He is actually bad in sketching. I say usne bola. So what is that quality? One quality who could clear IIT and NID exams. He said that he had got a great ability of asking questions. He can ask the right questions at the right time. What we do, I'm sure all the students will have some questions in their mind, but the one who asks the questions would always lead the world. So please ask the question. Any question, maximum kya hoga? We may not know the answer, which is perfectly fine. Even one of the mantras is, if you don't know the answer, say no. No problem nahi. There is no one in the world that he or she knows everything. So they know whatever you know, you just go deep. Whatever you don't know, ask. Now there is one question about please talk on UX UI. Can anyone articulate this? Please talk. Matlab, I can conduct 3 days workshop on what is UX UI. So what is it that you can just articulate more? सिद्धेश जी आप बोलिए कि यूएक्स यूआई पे क्या चाहिए? Are you expecting job? Are you expecting what is UX UI? You want to know some methods of UX UI? You know some strategies how to redesign the enterprise application or mobile application? क्या चाहिए UX का?
You can even unmute and ask, Mr. Shetty.
Yes, say Siddesh. Perfectly okay. No problem. Just ask. Marathi, Hindi, English, no problem. Any language is okay. Or anyone wants to ask any question, unmute. I have passion and skills for transportation design from childhood. Due to my bad financial, I chose to be mechanical and decided to go to do it side by side to transportation design after it. But now I am at the last year. I don't think I can fill the fees of NID, which is 8 to 10 lakhs. Taking loan is not a good. Brilliant question, Harsh. This is a wonderful question and it's a very relatable question. Okay, it's a very important thing. What I would suggest on this, that's fine. If you don't want to go into any design school, that's your personal choice. But it starts with taking risk. You can always do a course on Coursera or EDX or something, कि अच्छा 6 हफ्ते में transportation designer बनो, product designer बनो. But I don't recommend that. Okay. But at the most, what you can do is you start learning, you start doing something on transportation. आपके पास कार है, नहीं है, किसके पास कार है? Just document the car, take 100 photos of the car, what you can improve upon, what new thing you can do in car, so on and so forth. And then you can approach us, you can get connected with Aparna ma'am, how best we can suggest. By the way, Harsh, you can think of going out of India as well, wherein in Germany or in Scandinavian countries, the exam fee, the education fees are near zero. Okay, even you can apply over there, wherein the hard fact of financial condition can be taken care. त्यामुळे पैसे नसले नहीं है तो भी कुछ ये नहीं है ना, and that's the reality, which is fine. You can always apply out of India. Secondly, we can suggest you some of the courses wherein upfront I don't remember any of the courses, but you can surely do some courses. You can do some internship, which can be a good thing, but living fees are higher there, sir. Yeah, I understand. Secondly, Harsh, maybe you can take some risk. Ye bhi hai na. So it's not that when I went to IIT Bombay 25 years back, most of my friends said tu yeda hai, you are a stupid guy, क्या design में रखा है. But today I am reaping the benefit. I took a risk. Harshal also took a risk. He quit the job. He was also getting 12 lakh, in 2 years. He quit and he paid 12 lakh rupees. Was the money available with his father or my father? No. You need to take a risk. That's what is called as passion. So taking loan is not a good idea. Why do you think so? Does it mean that you don't have confidence on you? कि नहीं यार वो पैसा भरूंगा वापस कर सकता हूँ या नहीं कर सकता हूँ मालूम नहीं है. So think of all these things. It's not possible to answer all the details. I need to understand your context well. But मुझे तो लगता है कि थोड़ा risk लेना चाहिए. Since I'm amazed that you are having passion since 6th grade. सहावीपासून if you are so interested in transportation design, 2 साल with 8-10 lakh is nothing. Your life would be for next 80 years. तो क्या करोगे? सोच लो. Just think over it, but you can always reach out to us, if you want to have personal conversation, we'll surely do that, Harsh. I want passionate people like you. Actually, I am a B.Des UX/UI design student currently in 3rd year. Should I be considering M.Des? How much can I expect CTC after B.Des and M.Des too? Okay. I don't know which design school are you studying in, Vansh, but very candid opinion of mine is if you have done B.Des in UX/UI, doing M.Des in India doesn't make any sense. It's my very candid opinion. You can try, you can attempt, but ऊपर का सोचो. मतलब think of doing masters out of India, wherein you will get a different culture, different context, different kind of people to interact with, different company in which you can do internships, so on and so forth. Because M.Des course is a kind of a accelerated course of B.Des. B.Des में 4 साल में जो सिखाते हैं ना, वो M.Des में 2 साल में सिखाते. That happens in India. But I think you can surely think of doing masters out of India. Masters karna, I will surely suggest you. B.Des is becoming a commodity now. Commodity matlab sab B.Des ho jayenge. And now 10th graders also will have B.Des kind of a knowledge. By the way, if many of you haven't seen, just see new education policy, design thinking and innovation course. If you want, Aparna madam can share with you. 10th 6th 7th ग्रेड में डिजाइन फंडामेंटल्स है, पर्सोना है, कस्टमर जर्नी मैपिंग है, सब है. हाँ, so everything is there in 6th 7th 8th grade. Guys, you are on radar now. If you don't study more, if you don't study deep, your job is at stake. तो मास्टर्स करना ही पड़ेगा मास्टर्स. लेकिन my personal opinion, after BDES I won't recommend you to do masters. You can do in NID or IIT, but not in private colleges. ऐसा मुझे लगता है. Chirag has got a question. I have done BDES from MIT. How can we compare education of NID with other colleges across the world? As I already have design background, what would be a great fit? Other colleges across the world is a very generic thing. Okay, there are hundreds of countries and thousands of colleges. It's not possible to compare NID with any of it. ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता. You can ask for NID and Carnegie Mellon. You can ask for NID and Georgia Tech. You can ask for NID and Princeton. You can ask for NID and Singapore universities. This is a very generic question, Chirag, I think, because you can't just compare that. But NID is one of the top institutes, completed 65 years in India. IIT is one of the top institutes, completed 50-60 years. I think after BDES, you can do M.Des in India, but we need to have a separate conversation. This is a generic question according to me. Sorry for that, but it's a reality. Throw some light on M.Des program, graphic design, film and video universal design. How easy to get, easy or difficult to get BFA graduate pursuit. These are, see guys, for BFA, fine arts, commercial arts, it's not difficult to get. And easy, difficult is a very personal thing. I can't generalize that. But if you get right kind of a mentoring, if you get right kind of a peer group, it's not very difficult. Actually, BFA guys need to have more focus on user-centric thinking. उतना ही करना पड़ेगा. And I think for you, visual communication, film and video, graphic design, animation would be the right kind of fields, because since you have done BFA, universal design is slightly different. But just to explain you in one line, universal design is design something which can include various entities across universe. मतलब क्या है? If I am designing a website, I should be considering not normal people like Kiran are there, but there are people who are illiterate, the people who are visually impaired, the people who are cognitively disabled, the people who are below, they may not have technology. How we can include all of them is called as universal design. Ask Google, you will find more information. If you want more information, reach out to Aparna madam. We can have separate conversation. Ruchi is asking, can you please elaborate details about strategic design management? What kind of work is involved? It's a great question, Ruchi. Strategic design management is more about designing the strategies to make sure that whatever you design would help the management to perform in a better way. I'll give you one example. So, and I gave this example to multiple platforms as well. Samjho, Ruchi, you started a Vada Pav center, or your friend is having a Vada Pav center, Zoshi Vadewale or some XYZ Vadawala, and he wants to go globally. Okay, कितने दिन मैं यहाँ कोने में बैठ के वड़ा फ्राई करूंगा? So you as a strategic design manager can approach that, can say, hey buddy, currently you are doing this, you are frying vadas, and how many vadas do you fry? 100 vadas. And the customers come and stand in front of you, they pay by Google Pay, and you go home and your job is done. How can you scale your business without hampering the quality and making sure that quantity grows up. Then a strategic design management can come up with various frameworks and tools by which you can suggest that, hey, you can have a franchisee model, you can have Vada Pav on the wheels, you can think of Vada Pav using cloud kitchen, you can think of Vada Pav of a different shape size, you can have different packaging, you can have different ambience, you can sell Vada Pav with whiskey, wine, I don't know. So all these things, thinking from a business strategy perspective so that scaling of the business and management of the business can be, and the impact can be provided. There are so many examples which we can discuss, but mainly it's a very emerging field. Now, second question, Ruchi, you can reflect upon, how is MBA in design management different than M.Des in strategic design management? This is a task for you. In next 2-3 minutes, I can't answer elaborate thing, but two things you can do. Ask ChatGPT what is the difference between strategic design management and MBA in design or design management. But the focus over here in strategic design management is coming up with a design strategy for better managing the business. In MBA, it's more of a finance, more of a accountancy, more of a profit and loss. The focus is more on financial aspects. In strategic design management, focus is more on a psychology, quality, experiential aspect, etc. Can you please explain what interaction designing is? Nandini, interaction design, as we all know, how a human being can interact with the system. Actually, interaction design people think is UX, UI, but interaction design, in the course, what they call, even in IIT, there is a course called as interaction design, M.Des in interaction design. So, according to my definition of interaction design, how I interact with this bottle, how I open the lid, how I drink, how I hold, that also is an interaction design, how I interact with the product, service, or system. But in the current scenario, interaction design is something like user experience. How can you design a touch point, or how can you design an interaction with the system? As I gave you one example, okay, Book My Show. How can I design an interaction of Book My Show, wherein in one click, just one click, I can book the ticket, and I can also select which chair on which I'm going to sit. So this interaction designer can do, instead of going go to which movie you want to select, how many people are going to attend, watch the movie, which seat you want, and then pay the amount, go to payment gateway, pay the bill or pay the amount, and then you get receipt saying that, acha, Book My Show mein I am watching this movie. Can interaction designer think by which in one click he can book that? So interaction design is something for the larger context, is kind of a user experience design. Okay, find more if you want, you can approach. Same is I'm telling everyone. Abhishek, what is the difference between product design and new media design? Harshal just now explained. Product design, and it's a classical product design. I'm also a product designer. Way back, I did my product design in 1993. Your parents would have got married that time, or perhaps no, I don't know. But product design is a classical product design wherein you can design a chair or a table or a product, consumer product, helmet, whatever you can touch and feel, so that it is more user-centric, user-friendly, and comfortable, easy to use, etc. etc. Classical. But nowadays, product design also is augmenting with technology. Okay. So designing a mobile phone, plastic mobile phone, is a product design. Designing the applications is a user experience design. New media design is kind of a augmentation of art and coming up with a new paradigms of coming up or designing something. New media is a fairly complex, I am also unable to explain. Let me be very candid. Maybe Harshal can put some more light. Uh, just in case I don't clear NID entrance for masters, can I take admission in other design school? I think yes. I think yes. Uh, Only thing is you should be clear about many things. Okay, Shrutika, which other school, what other courses they are providing. We need to do thorough analysis of this, But your question is very valid. We got Shreya and Harshal on this call, but there are so many people who may not have cleared NIT entrance or IIT entrance. Now, is it right thing to go to, I'm just picking one name, okay? I know we are on a public platform, but is it right approach to enter into MIT Design School and do masters over there? So we need to really think on various aspects. What kind of a course they are offering, what is the content in that, what specialization you want to enter into, uh, how much internship opportunities are they providing? Is it a right thing to enter into some private school in India or think of some US market? What are the commercials involved? All such kinds of things are very much required. But you are asking very valid questions, Shrutika. It's NID exam is not very difficult, but it's a different exam. Okay, if you prepare nicely, if you get good mentoring, I don't think it would be difficult. Okay, let's go with a positive mindset. But realistically, you are asking a very valid question. So we need to go in much details. Okay. Okay. Harsh, again, another thing demotivates me. One designer said that there is an update from Pratap Bose that masters is not sufficient for car design. He said car designers are not selected which have engineering background. I don't know who Pratap Bose is. It's my lack of information. But I know many designers. I know I got so many friends who have done engineering and they are doing wonderful job. One of my friends, he works in Detroit. He's coming here in India. If you want, I can connect you with him as well. He's into General Motors in Detroit. He's there for last 20 years. So he's engineer. Yeah, नागपुर से उसने engineering किया है. So it depends. Please throw some light on doing M.Des versus doing M.Des abroad. Yes, we need to talk more in details. There are so many parameters on this. I don't know what is your background. I need to know what is your background. If you already done B.Des, I think doing M.Des abroad makes sense. If you have done engineering and if you want to remain in India and do some contribution, and there are some pros and cons, doing M.Des. It's a very contextual thing. Okay, thanks, Chirag. Surely we should connect. For communication design specifically, okay, I'm doing B.Des. So Zui, the answer, I would recommend you to think of going out of India since you are done B.Des. Now you understood the culture, you have done B.Des. I'm sure you would have done at least 3 or 4 projects in communication design, graphic design, brand identity, digital design. You must have acquired a few skills in many things related to communication design. What I would suggest is basically think of which country, and you can approach to Aparna ma'am. We provide that kind of a support to the students. Which country, which thing. By the way, Zui, here is one suggestion. Think of a new area to do masters. अभी आपने communication design किया है ना B.Des में. Now it's an opportunity for you to do something else in masters. Okay, it could be design in policy, it could be design and speculation, it could be design and in any new field that you can think of. It's a great opportunity for you to jump beyond what you have done. So if you have done communication in B.Des, don't do communication in M.Des. I'm flatly telling, this is my point of view. You might agree or disagree, but अभी किया है ना, अभी communication design में मत करो, कुछ अलग करो. You can build on that. Is Tata Elxsi? Okay, fine. Harsh, I respect that. I think there were a lot of questions, and I really appreciate your enthusiasm. एक बोला तो सबने question डालना चालू कर दिया है ना. Be curious and ask questions. So thank you so much, guys. I'll hand it over to Aparna. And yeah, if you have got any queries, please reach out to us. We are willing to support all your queries. Okay. So Aparna ji, over to you.
Yes. Thank you everyone for joining, and this almost 1.5 hours of discussion would have given you a really good clarity about masters in design, how to prepare, what are the abilities. But still, due to time restriction, we have to end this webinar here. I have shared my contact details. You can visit Guru Mantra channel and Instagram, or reach out to me. I'll share all the details to help you all. And thank you once, Kiran sir, Harshal, and Shreya, the designers.
Yeah, here is something, you know.
Very successful.
Yeah, sorry to jump. Rachna is asking about, sir, you were going to suggest some books to read. Yes, Rachna. Aparna, can we share now? Do you have that slide ready so they can take the screenshot?
Sure, I'll share.
Yeah, just be online. Okay. Can you all see this?
So I think now everyone can see this.
See, there are 3 sections. Okay. First section is creative thinking starters, wherein there are some 4 books which you can refer to. These are all available on Instagram. These are, sorry, Amazon. You can find that. If you want PDF, maybe, we'll try to share, but I think that's the activity you can do. Secondly, second column you can see is more of a skill enhancement. Still, like an artist and sketching the basics are 2 wonderful books wherein you can enhance your sketching abilities, visualization abilities. And third is design awareness, the design way and design of everyday things. Design of everyday things is very simple to understand and easy book. The design way is fairly complex, but that these 3 pillars, say around 6 to 8 books would be starter, and you can start exploring. It's not required that you should start right from first page to last page. Even if you browse through and approach us, that's fine. Okay, surely that's something. And can you share abroad universities for master design? Answer is no. There are more than 10,000 or 15,000 universities, Shrutika. What I can share is www.google.com. Please do the research over there, find out more. Because abroad का मतलब क्या है? Even Nepal is abroad, Pakistan is abroad, Dubai is abroad. Okay, so you need to find more. And if you want, if you decide कि हाँ मुझे US में करना है, West Coast में करना है, I want to do something nearby San Jose, California side, we can suggest you. Or if you say we want to do in Nordic, say Denmark, Finland, Sweden, then we can suggest something. But this is a very open-ended question. Also, sir, about NEP, yes, Pranika, NEP, go to CBSE website, find out more about new education policy. And once you go through that approaches, I'm willing to discuss with you about new education policy, design thinking, innovation, kya courses mein, all that I will surely do. What is the process to get into Royal College of Art? A wonderful question. I can connect you with one student of Guru Mantra. She is already in RCA. Okay. You can find a lot of it. She is Harshal's batchmate actually. Okay. So she is doing her M.Des program in RCA. You remember Harshal? Shravani.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we can share a lot of information on that. Okay. What is the process? But typically, since you are asking the question, Murlidhar sir, basically it's you need to write statement of purpose, which also goes through lot of iterations. You need to get LORs since you are appearing for London and not for US, England and not for US. You need to go for IELTS, and most importantly, you need to have a wonderful portfolio where we can help you in preparing the portfolio, taking some projects and completing the projects. In UK and European countries, Shrutika, I already gave you the task. तो आप उसके ऊपर थोड़ा काम करो. ओके, सब रेडीमेड नहीं मिलेगा मैडम. हाँ, तो आपको काम करना पड़ेगा. तो यूके यूरोपियन कंट्रीज में कौन से कंट्रीज में जाना चाहिए, थोड़ा करो ना, उसके बाद हम बात करते हैं. आई एम विलिंग टू हेल्प यू. आई डोंट वांट टू डिस्करेज यू. सिंस यू आर वेरी सीरियस स्टूडेंट, यू आर आस्किंग वेरी वैलिड क्वेश्चंस. आई रिस्पेक्ट दैट. थोड़ा काम करो. अभी यूरोपियन कंट्रीज में आपको क्या करना है? डू यू वांट टू डू स्ट्रेटेजिक डिजाइन मैनेजमेंट, यूजर एक्सपीरियंस डिजाइन? वो सब करने के बाद ना, आई एम विलिंग टू हेल्प यू. आई रियली लव टॉकिंग विद स्टूडेंट्स लाइक यू. एज यू, you are a student, but this is very interesting crowd. I really loved, so many questions were asked. Thank you so much, all of you, and willing to discuss more. Do reach out to us, and we can connect you with Harshal, Shriya, and all kind of people after taking their permission, because they are also busy in their own coursework. But we'll surely connect you with wider audience as well. So thank you so much. Have a great weekend, and looking forward to have some more interactions with you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
To everyone.
Bye bye. Thanks, Chirag. Bye bye.